Welcome to the legal side of packaging, where we break down the big legal questions and updates in the world of packaging. Hosted by me, Eric Greenberg, a lawyer who thinks about nothing but packaging and legal issues, pretty much. There's an important difference between a law and a regulation. Actually, there's a lot of differences, but there's also an important similarity. Both laws and regulations have what we call the force of law, in that you can get into trouble with the government if you violate either one, a law or a regulation. But as I said, there are differences mostly related to how they're made. Federal laws, sometimes called statutes, of course, are made by Congress, meaning both the House of Representatives and the Senate. The usual process is both of those parts of the Congress need to pass a bill, and then also the president has to sign it for it to become a law. So that's laws. Regulations, sometimes informally called rules, are made by regulatory agencies, often because of instructions given to them by Congress in laws. Regulations apply to all kinds of businesses or products or activities. There's lots of regulatory agencies. There's the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, the Securities Exchange Commission, the SEC, and lots of others. No matter their subject matter, though, the way regulations are made is provided for by a law called the Administrative Procedure Act, and all regulatory agencies of the federal government have to follow it. The common process for making regulations involves publication in something called the Federal Register of a proposed regulation, together with an invitation for public comments on the proposal. And then the agency looks over and considers the comments, makes changes to the proposed regulation as needed to address the comments that they think are valid. And then they publish the final regulation, and at some point after that, the new regulation becomes effective. So if you're paying attention, you or your company or your trade group, anyone has the opportunity to make comments and actually influence the way regulations come out. So why does the distinction between law and regulation matter for keeping you on the legal side? Well, if you really hate a regulation because it's burdensome or expensive or just seems to be over-complicating your business or your life, remember that while you might get mad at the FDA or the EPA or some other regulatory agency for making it, it might be that you really should be mad at Congress for instructing the agency to do what it did. Are there examples of agencies going rogue and doing things outside the boundaries of what Congress told them to do? Sure there are, and those can be challenged in court. But it's often the case that regulatory agencies have followed Congress's instructions in making their latest complicated, unclear, annoying, burdensome set of requirements. And if you want those changed, you'd have to complain to Congress, not the regulatory agency. One way to help avoid annoying regulations is to get involved before they're made and submit those comments to the regulatory agency about how that regulation should be made. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to stay on the legal side of packaging.